Welcome, everyone. I'm Sage,
I'm Megan.
and you're back with the Squeaky Floorboard Society. Guys, this is our last official case.
Yeah, and
Is
we're still in our, as Sage pointed out, we're still in our Christmas sweaters.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna date this. I'm gonna date this. Christmas is in 5 days for us.
Yeah.
But I guess I know what my small talk's gonna be.
Okay.
I am driving home by myself. I'm taking the
Is
9.5 hour drive by myself.
is Dennis not coming?
No.
Why not?
Oh, because my mother-in-law is
Oh,
not doing great. So
right.
And it's kind of like a Schrodinger's box situation where like she's doing fine right now. For her condition, she's doing fine right now. So if he there's a good chance that if he leaves, she'll pass, but if he stays, she won't. And so
Right.
it's like a Schrodinger's box situation where like
Right.
she could still pass while he's here or she could live while we're gone. It's just like Schrodinger's box.
You don't know what's gonna happen, so he may as well stay here with his
Yeah,
mom.
just to make sure
That
that
I mean, that's
everything's
that's
good.
totally fair. I mean, he can spend Christmas with his family. You can spend Christmas with yours,
Yeah. So
and me.
yeah, I know, and I got my camera bag packed. I got my toiletries packed. Guys, I leave in 3 days.
Are you staying in a hotel or staying with
I'm
your
staying at my
parents?
parents' house. I'm sleeping on their
Okay.
couch.
Okay. Cool. So then we'll be filming at my place then, is what you're telling
We
me.
can sit in your
Because I have this
office.
lovely, I know, because we say we have this lovely office. I can move some stuff around. I have a chair in the corner.
That'll be perfect. I'm
It's
so
really
excited,
comfy.
y'all.
I'll be in my computer chair and you'll be in the really nice comfy chair.
And guys, it's so close. Like I cannot wait to see you in person. I can't wait to see my nephew. I guess your partner too.
Yeah, he ain't much to see.
I get to see my parents. I get food that
You
I
can see my
actually like. I
parents.
can.
You can go see my sister too if you
Oh,
want.
I love your siblings.
You'll have to get my brother out of the basement. He may not come out.
Well,
Last time he came out, he saw me and he went, ah! And he went back downstairs. And I don't know that he's come up since. I don't know
I
what I did.
I love your sister. She's like a personal cheerleader anytime I see her.
Yeah, she loves you, dude.
She's adorable. I love her. It's also crazy that your brother is older than me.
Yeah, that always gets me when I remember that he's older than you. That is just, what, a year older?
Yeah, about a year older.
Because he's 3 years younger than me.
Yeah. It's
It's just
crazy.
insane to me. Crazy.
All right. I'm ready for your small talk cuz I know roughly what it is.
I'm really excited to show you guys this. I've had this for a while, but I just moved it into my office. It's my katana. I just wanted to show you guys my katana. And it's not like a cheap weeb katana. This thing was $800.
Oh my god. I
800 bucks.
remember.
Battle ready. Passes the paper test. If anyone breaks in here while I am doing the podcast, they are absolutely cooked.
How would I edit that? Because it's gonna be. Do I just stop the recording at that point?
You know what? It'd be even better. Imagine getting killed by some weeb in a Sasuke sweater and they've got a katana.
Well, they're recording their podcast on
Yeah, well,
spooky
I'm recording my
stuff.
podcast. But, the handle's really nice. I don't know if I can show you guys. Got like, I'm not gonna be able to show you guys. I don't know what I'm thinking. But the handle's got some cute little, like, not cute. It's got like a lion on it and stuff.
Aw,
It's got some weight to it. It's like gazillion folded steel.
it's
I don't know if you guys
pretty.
can see that. Yeah, I do oil it every once in a while.
Just in case you needed
Um,
it.
I can't sharpen it. I have no way to sharpen it. But to be fair, I haven't used it except for to do the paper test. It just sits
What
in
you do is you call
its
my
scabbard.
dad and you're like, you like to sharpen knives. Do you think you could sharpen a sword?
I should see if your dad could sharpen this for me. If anyone can do it, he can. And what's even crazier is if somebody, like, I told Daryl, I was like, listen, in my mind, the katana is a better home defense weapon because we have a small child. Um, What if, like, if somebody breaks and I'm small and I know the layout of my house, I'm hiding behind the couch and I'm swinging it like a baseball bat.
It's just the thought of you, like, I've seen what you
Your
look like when
your
you wake up.
legs, your legs are gone, bro. Your legs are getting taken by a 4'10" per individual hiding behind a couch with a sword. That's a crazy way to go out, bro.
I can't, I would, I would love to hear the phone call I get when you're detained because they're gonna have to detain you until like,
Right. I mean, I feel like they're not going to detain me for long.
no, it's usually just like
That,
get the story straight, figure out who actually lives there.
yeah, no, like, and this feels safe to me because like, what it like? Yes, we have a Blakey, but what if they break in over here? My son's room is that way.
Yeah,
I'm not shooting that direction. I gotta wait for them to go towards like my room.
yeah,
This I don't have to wait. I can just run at you and just start hacking. As long as you
yeah,
don't have a blicky, I'm good. And chances are you don't.
yeah.
I have not heard of a single home invasion in my area where the home invader had one.
No, they
They
never
usually
do.
have like a knife. Guess what? My sword is way longer.
Yeah, you just
And
call
also,
my
I'm
dad up.
not I'm not fighting somebody. Like, think about this realistically. You break into someone's house in the middle of the night and they come running at you with a sword. That person's crazy.
Yeah.
That person's crazy.
What you do is
I'm
you
not
just
fighting
call
them.
my dad and not tell him it's a katana and just be like, so I hear you're really good at sharpening knives. You think like,
You can sharpen a really big one.
yeah, like don't give him like size. He'll be like, I mean, yeah, probably. And then you bring it over there. He's like, bitch, that's a katana.
Oh, that's a sword. Yeah, my next purchase will be a second katana probably because the wall mount I have sitting in my Amazon cart is, and I don't want to hear anybody talking about the Amazon boy cart. Where else am I gonna buy a katana holder for my wall?
That's true.
I promise you, there's not a small business around here that sells katana holders
No,
in
looking for
rural Indiana.
gun racks. Find them all day. Katana holders,
Wouldn't that
no.
be? I don't know. Could I put this on a gun rack? That'd be crazy. That'd be a crazy thing to do.
You probably could.
You just walk into my house and it's a gun rack full of katanas. That's crazy. No, but the katana holder I have in my cart has space for two katanas.
Ooh, so you need another one.
So I need a second one. I told Daryl that could be his gift at our big official wedding.
That's what you say. It could be your wedding gift.
Yeah. Be- That's that's crazy that that's a thing that's gonna happen. Should I talk about that?
Yeah, if you want.
I showed off my sword. I literally said before we started, I was like, I showed off my sword, but I'm not gonna show off my giant rock. I officially have a giant rock now, guys.
It is so pretty.
Eventually, I'm doing this because it's hard to see with my light on, because my hands are so pale. But yes, it's there. It's
I
present.
love it.
Eventually, there will be a spooky floorboard society wedding.
Am I gonna be the photographer again?
No, I'm gonna hire an actual photographer this time, so you can actually
be
take place and like you can actually be in my wedding.
so I'm not double timing it.
Yeah, yeah. That was look. I didn't have the money to hire a professional photographer the first time.
Yeah, you're
I had to
good.
use the professional photographer I knew.
It was also a bridesmaid.
It was also my maid of honor. Yeah,
All
but
right. Yeah, that
let's get
was
into it.
all right, y'all. So, why are people I don't why is everyone blowing me up today? So, today I
Editors blow me up.
kind I cannot wait for you to see. I think it is one of the edits. You say that or you're like just editor kill me.
If you send me a clip of me going, editors blow me up, I'll edit myself being blown up.
Well, you said editors kill me. And so it's just like gunshot holes with blood and a gunshot sound.
Editors kill me.
I'll have to find it. It's one of I think it is in Smitten for Language, maybe. Where I said Britain is weird, man.
Oh.
All right, y'all. So I'm kind of taking a page out of Megan's book today. which is why we're not in France for my final episode.
Hell yeah. You're welcome,
So,
guys.
I do, before we get too far into what we're actually looking for, I do want to say that this research was honestly the worst. I have actual videos of me doing the research and ready to cry. And I get why the research for this was super hard. And I will say that, like, I was on page 50 of Google looking for information. Like, that's how hard the stuff is to find.
I've
Um,
never been on page 50 of Google in my life.
it gets weirder the further you go. I will let you know that.
I've been on page 50 of an AO3 search, but not Google.
I have also been on page 50 of an AO3 search.
None of them were
Um,
hitting.
but I was able to find several videos. But the reason that this was harder to find stuff for is we are traveling to Australia today. And now, much like Native American tribes, a lot of our stories are held pretty close to the chest. It is stuff that is very much cultural, and we don't really share too much of it outside of the people of the culture, which is the same with Australia with their Aboriginal. So, I don't get a whole lot of information on some of the Aboriginal stories, but I was able to find some sources that were able to help me paint the picture, per se. So, just so you know that if I pronounce anything wrong for anyone who's listening in Australia, I'm sorry. I am trying to do my best to be respectful of this. You're not France, so I don't have anything anger towards you.
But
But
we'll say you can tell us, oh, nor, that's wrong.
yeah. So we're going to get into it. So our first one, and there's like 20 pronunciations for this word, but we're going to go with the word Irigen or Irinja. And that is the Australian desert werewolf. It is also sometimes referred to as the devil dingo or the devil dog.
Dingo.
And I don't know if you remember, but a couple episodes back, you asked me in my Australian episode if we talk about the dingoes.
Yeah. That was the
Now,
one about the worldwide lore.
yeah. Um, Sometimes they're also referred to as the sand howler, which I feel like I've heard that term before.
That sounds like a slur.
I feel like I heard it in. Nope, never mind. That's a sandworm. Ignore me.
The Alaskan bull.
Now you can't really find much on these in any search engine because it is part of the Aboriginal stories. But however, there's an amazing video done by Eric Hallback, and it's about I think maybe 3 to 7 minutes long. Like it's somewhere in that range. I can't remember. In my mind, it's 3, but I feel like I remember seeing 7. So either way, it's a very short video. And he says that they have the shape of a man, but they don't ever need to use it. So they can transform back into a person. They just don't. And what we do know is that their primary habitat is among sand dunes and deserts where they keep to their own and have very little contact with witches and wizards. They are known to travel through sandstorms, and some believe that they even manifest them with some of their own forms of magic. While little is known about them, it is also believed that they live beneath the sand. Eric also says that they make a sound that is very similar to the call of a butcher bird. When this sound is heard, the sand dune that the person is cocooned in splits open and the creature comes out and is ready to eat human flesh. He says that they are not wolves but dingoes, and they have the ability to transform into either half man, half dingo, or full man or full dingo. He also points out that dingoes are not originally from Australia, but are from Asia, which means that these creatures originated in Asia well before being brought to Australia.
Did they come over when it was a penal colony? Did they ship all their dick ass dingo
They could have.
men?
There's also, I think, I can't remember if he says it in the video or if I read this in another thing, but he says that basically they could have been in full human form, getting on ships from Asia, traveling to Australia in human form.
No, that
And
makes so much
nobody would have
sense.
ever detected them.
Okay, and you said this is an Aboriginal legend?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be so frank with you right now. Indigenous legends usually make way more sense than the stuff that like white people come up with. Like, that makes sense. What do you
Yeah.
mean I can become a werewolf if I'm Catholic? Like, that doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. This makes sense.
So now there are different terms for werewolf, dogman type creatures. So now we've heard of the Irija. Now this next one's called the Chironir, and I am probably pronouncing that wrong. Um, so I'm sorry if I am. So this is a different version. Now the name does sound very cheery, but it's not. It's the name of a furry creature from the Aboriginal Australian folklore of a mix between a human and a dog. The creature is said to roam near the Nullarbor Plain. This is the perfect place for them because it's vast and almost otherworldly. And when you look at it, if you look at pictures of this place, it looks creepy.
What is this place?
Nullarbor or Nullarbor. Here, actually, I'm gonna. I was like, I can look up pictures and cast them if you want, or you can look them up.
I got it.
It looks otherworldly. It almost looks like what I assume Mars would look like.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly where this is. Okay.
Yeah, so it's creepy.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It does. It reminds me of Mars.
But Null Arbor Plain is Latin and it actually means no trees. And if
Oh,
you look up
that makes
photos,
sense.
it almost looks fake.
Yeah, null is Latin for like none,
None.
and
Yeah.
arbor is tree. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
So it covers an area about 683 miles between South and Western Australia. It also happens to be one of the world's largest limestone karst landscapes. Underneath all of this are numerous massive caves, which would be a great place to hide. So the website I found wants to put you right into the story. So this next whole paragraph comes from an article by J.A. Hernandez. Imagine planning a trip to Australia and putting together a little list of places to visit, like the Sydney Opera House, the Royal Botanic Gardens of Victoria, the Great Barrier Reef, and a few others with a stop over the Null Arbor Plain for a drive through the scenic landscape. You hit the highway on the plain in the late afternoon, and a sense of eerie solitude envelopes you as you gaze out over the endless stretch of barren land. After a short drive, you pull over to take in the details and grab a few selfies. As you exit your vehicle, a shiver runs down your spine at the cool breeze. You grab those selfies and hop back into your vehicle, turn the ignition, and nothing happens. Your vehicle won't start. You frown, search the long straight road, and find yourself completely alone. A quick check of your phone shows no signal. You put down your windows, kick back, and wait for someone to drive by. A yawn hits you, and you blink, frowning a large canine footprints in the dirt. You squeeze your eyes shut for a moment. You open your eyes to darkness. The muscles in your legs and back are stiff, and you wipe a trickle of drool from your lip. You must have fallen asleep. Around you is the unsettling silence of nighttime in the outback, and above you is a canopy of glittering stars. A rustle near your car draws your attention. You see only the silhouette of a sparse vegetation you spotted during the day. Not wanting the attention of wild animals, you put your windows up and you lock the doors. As your window slices off the last breath of fresh air, you feel your seat rumble. Your pulse quickens as you realize the source of the sensation, a low growl just outside. Whipping around, you spot a towering figure approaching, blackening out the starry sky. Its body is grotesque, muscular person covered in fur, but its head is like a dog. Eyes glint with feral luminescence, locking onto yours. It growls a guttural sound that reverberates through you. A massive paw steps onto the window by your head. You realize then that you are not a visitor to the plane. You are part of a story that's been unfolding for centuries. The Chironir has found you. One claw clinks on the glass. The lines crackle around the claw, forming a fractured web. The paw pushes. The window explodes, shattering you with shards. You are now dead.
I like that.
Yeah, I read this at night when I was writing this, and it's night again, and it's terrible.
Yeah, no, that I don't. I gotta stop and get gas, like on my way out tonight. Like,
Well, you're not in the outback, so that should help a little bit.
no. It took me a minute to figure out where I knew the Nullarbor plane from, but it's a UFO hotspot too.
Ooh, is it? I can't wait
I
till we
heard about a
hit
very,
like.
I heard about a very chilling alien encounter there on another
Ooh,
podcast.
I can't wait till we get into alien stuff because that stuff just be entertaining.
I 100% believe in aliens too. 100%.
I do too. So,
So,
that being said, this is a dog faced man, tall and heavy built with unnaturally long arms. Some say that they have a loose bag around their chin like a pelican does, while others' descriptions resemble more of like the modern werewolf type.
I
There
don't
is a story.
know.
Yeah. There is a story that comes from the Aboriginal people that goes like this. So I want you to know that Chironir in the story is a human. So Chironir was witnessed drinking water, and he told the onlookers that he would return to kill them, because it was foretold that if he was seen by men or women, he would die. One night, the Chironir went to their camp. He sent his dogs ahead to start the killing, but the Windjarning brothers dispatched them all and cut off their tails. When Chironir came up to see what happened to his dogs, the women and children pretended to wail in fear, and 6 warriors whisked the tails of the dogs, so that the dogman believed his dogs were hunting human quarry. As he races along, the brothers emerged and beat him to death with their clubs. Chironir's wife appeared silently, and when they reached her husband's body, the nearest warriors fell on her and cut her in half. From the upper part emerged a boy, but before the men could reach him, he changed into a reptile and escaped. Although Chironir and his wife were dead, the devil then came from her body is still alive in the bush. In the story, he is a dog-faced man who had 6 hunting dogs.
And you know what's crazy? If you told me you cut somebody in half in Australia and a lizard came out and ran off, I would just believe that at face value.
Yeah,
That just sounds like an Australian thing.
it really does. So Australia has a lot of different types of werewolf type stories, much like France does. But France, they're pretty much very much the same story, just different details here and there. Um, Australia's is not like that at all. And so the next one is the Kadena werewolf. And there wasn't much information on this one either. It's longer than I thought it was, but it's still a fairly short one. So the York Peninsula in 1919 saw a loss of sheep happen in such a way and in such a short time that it drew similarities to the I'm going to say this wrong, Tantanoola tiger sheep killings 30 something years earlier. For more than 9 months, sheep would be found slaughtered in fields near Kadena. Farmers described the beast as being wolf-like but immense in size. The beast was described in Sydney's The World's News on June 19th, 1943, published There Are Queer Creatures in the Australian by V. Molsons as the Kadena werewolf. Wolf-like howls and shrieks would fill the night air, and in the morning, a farmer would find some of his sheep torn to pieces. This led to a reward of £10 offered to anyone who could capture the beast, which at this time was described in rural circles as big enough to devour a child. Farmers and hunters began to lay in wait for the beast, hoping to be the one who bagged it. The beast was often heard but never seen until 21 days later by Mr. D. Tully witnessing the beast. Mr. Tully had set out to cover watering holes, drinking troughs, and dams in his local area. With his pack of stag hounds and greyhounds, he spotted the wolf and set his dogs after it. But they straight out refused to chase the beast, being overcome with fear. Next, he saw it while he was riding his horse. He chased the beast and got within 30 yards of it before its odor overcame his horse, who reared back and bolted away from the wolf. Tully was not one to give up and set a number of rabbit traps around his farm. He found the beast foot entrapped near a fence and approached it as it snarled and gashed in his direction. Mr. Tully raised his shotgun, blasted the beast in the mouth, thinking he had killed the beast. He moved towards it only to have it rise up and lunge at him again. This time he fired his barrels right down its throat, killing it. And then there's no other, like, body or anything. That was the whole story.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that did happen if the government didn't step in and confiscate the body.
Right.
Because that is something that governments will do, especially with things like this.
Yeah, that, and even if it's not a werewolf, if it's freakish enough, the government wants to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So
They want to do science.
they want science. They got to reverse engineer it.
Literally. Because they want to know everything that they can about it. So now we kind of got some stories, and I believe this next one has a video that we will get to hear here. So Myra Moore, PC, she has a video on YouTube that will be in the comments if I can link it, but I definitely will be playing it here. It's about a man who hears a growl, and I am going to play the audio here. I do want to say, though, in this clip, they say that there are no big cats here, and she states that in her video. So what do you think the sound is? So I'm gonna screen share to you. All right.
Okay, this is gonna sound insane, but I know exactly what that sounds like.
What does it sound like?
A tiger. That sounds like a pissed off tiger.
That's the thing, though, is I don't think there are tigers in Australia. And that was in Australia in New South Wales.
Yeah, no, I know there's not native tigers in Australia. That literally sounds like a tiger.
Yeah. I can
Like I actually it's funny that I think like I saw a video the other day comparing like the roar of a lion and the growl of a tiger.
yeah.
And so like that's fresh in my brain. That is exactly what those tigers sound like when they're pissed off. So like either A, someone let their tiger out, or B, there's an actual fucking dogman out there.
It's and like at first,
That's
like when you hear the audio, you're like, oh, there's no sound. But when they get closer to that fence and you hear it,
I heard it right away. I
like,
mean, that is some shocking ass audio.
yeah.
Like that like there's that's not a car, that's not a piece of machinery.
Hmm.
I don't know any other animal that makes that noise. I don't know dogs that make that
I
noise.
don't either.
That's a tiger. That is a fucking tiger. And so either there's a tiger in the outback loose or that's dogman.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely
crazy.
crazy. And that's like so crazy that they caught it on thing. There is a channel that we're gonna get to, not this next one, because mainly we're talking about videos. We got two more videos to discuss, and then we have a Reddit story. But one of the
Okay.
videos, when you go to their actual channel, they're dedicated to finding Dogman in the outback.
Oh
And
slay.
it's interesting to say the least.
Is it more coherent than what is it?
Mountain
The show where
monsters.
the mountain monsters, is it more coherent than that?
Yes. It's like, do you remember what was that? Finding Sasquatch. It was
Oh,
like four or
Finding
five,
Bigfoot.
maybe it was like four or five people and then a skeptic.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like that meets the dramaticness from like Ghost Adventures, where like everything's evidence. um,
Ghost Adventures just makes me sad.
but it was actually then their videos aren't very long, so they're
Right.
pretty interesting. They're also trying to find Bigfoot and a bunch of other things too. But the next one is from a YouTube channel called The Long Night, and this is a video on a dogman encounter that happened in 1906 in New South Wales, Australia. And I'm basically just going to read the script verbatim from what they say in the video because it's only about a minute long.
Okay.
Mr. E.J. Clifford had this exciting experience about 5 miles north of the Gulf. He was crawling through dense scrub when a wild animal rose up in front of him. As if frightened, paused for a moment. Clifford, who had a .32 Winchester, fired as speedily as possible. The animal, which he said appeared to be about 8 feet high and 3 feet broad, black in color and covered in fur of great length, had several unearthly yells and made off. Clifford fired two more shots as it fled over a flat, following it for about a quarter of a mile. He saw blood and a huge footprints where the animal crossed a creek in the sand. The head of the animal seemed to be shaped like a dog. At first, stood upright like a human being and ran on two legs at great pace. It was it was some 42 yards away from Clifford when he first seen it, and the time was midday. Clifford saw it clearly. A rifle party of about 30 has left the Gulf in search of a creature. Clifford is said to have shown some of the miners the bloods and tracks in the sand.
Hmm. I like that his first thought was to shoot it.
Literally, he's like, no, hell no. Like, I don't know what you are.
Man after my own heart. My first thought would also be to kill that thing.
So,
Australians and Americans, we're not so different, are we?
not really. So, Now, our next one is called Encounters with Dogman, Sydney, Australia, Creeper, Cryptids, and Paranormal Corner. So there is a YouTube channel that goes with this one. And I think it's called Paranormal Corner, I think. Either way, they have a lot of videos of trying to find Dogman in the outback. Now, this story is an encounter of Dogman in Sydney. The man has had 2 encounters with said Dogman. And I'm going to give you his story as he tells it in the video, but I'm going to try to tell a little bit in the third person. So it's going to kind of mix between POV, like first person point of view, and like third person point of view.
Okay.
So, I do want to say that before he got into this, he believed that the whole Dogman thing was a joke. In the video, he says that from what he encountered, they are smart, they will intimidate you, and they will stalk you. They will show themselves in daylight hours. He also says that he wouldn't be surprised if this is why so many people go missing on the Australian bush.
I think that there's better explanations for that. As somebody who believes in Dogman profusely, um, I think that there's other reasons people go missing in the Australian bush besides just Dogman.
Yeah.
You guys have like giant spiders and the most poisonous snakes in the world.
Yeah.
Everything in Australia wants to kill you. It's not just Dogman.
Yeah. So here is his story. Apparently, I can save $5 when I spend $20 on the McDonald's app.
Oh,
I just
nice.
got 3
I keep
notifications.
getting notifications that I have a $5 off coupon at Beals.
I just can't wait to be back. All right. So he left the house about 10 past 5. That way he could grab a coffee and head over there. The drive is about 30 minutes from his house. That way he could get there and get all of his gear unloaded and organized and be in the water by 6. He pulled up to McDonald's and realized he forgot his wallet, so he drives back home and gets his wallet since his fishing license is in it. Then he heads on his way. While on the way over, he was thinking about another spot to try for his next trip. His father in law had been telling him about how he used to go swimming there when he was a kid. He told him to check it out, but he really wasn't sure where this place was, so he figured he would just go there on his next trip. So he continues where he's going, and as he is almost there driving down the street, he realizes the gates are locked again. He is frustrated as anyone would be given that first he forgot his wallet, and now this place he was planning to fish is locked. So he starts looking up the spot his father in law was talking about and decides he's going to go over there. He found the place and sees that it isn't far from where he is now. When he arrives, the gate is open. He couldn't figure out why these gates were open considering that this place is only about 5 minutes away from the area that he was previously at, and it's ran by the same exact people. So he drives through their gate, and all of a sudden his Spotify starts going crazy. So, now in the video he says that he downloads his repeat list, so if he loses signal, he can still listen to it. So he keeps skipping the song that is spazzing out, and then a new song comes on that he knows for a fact isn't on his playlist, and he starts singing the words you think. He starts singing the word, you think this is a bad idea, and he thinks to himself, like, what the fuck? According to him, he still can't find the song that was playing. So he pulls up into a parking spot and grabs his kayak and all of his fishing gear and starts heading for the water. As he starts his hike, he realizes he forgot his GoPro, so he runs back to the vehicle and grabs it before heading back to the trails to go to the water. Since he had never been to this spot before, he wasn't sure what to expect. He had gone down about 500 meters of stairs before he reached the bottom. Once he got to the bottom, he had to do some bush bashing to be able to get his kayak into the water. Once he was finally down by the river and finished setting up, he climbs into the kayak. He realized that the water is super shallow, so his kayak is just basically sitting on rocks at the bottom of the water at this point. After about 10 minutes of struggling, of dragging himself across the rocks, he finally finds a spot deep enough so that he can start floating down the river. On his first cast, the surface became crazy about 5 bass are trying to get to his lure. He finally hooks one, takes a pick, and then releases it back. Every single cast after was like that one. He continues floating down and reaches a part where the river gets wider and he begins catching bigger fish. As he is looking up ahead, he sees a gray flash through the bush and he thinks it's odd, but once he actually looked, he noticed nothing was there, so he begins to think his eyes are just playing tricks on him. He is still floating and sees the river is narrowing up and down again. That's when he notices there's a massive rock sticking up out of the water and to the left-hand side, and he thought, yep, that's definitely going to be some bass around that. Which, honestly, if you're a fisher and there's like a big rock or a tree down, you're going to be like, that's definitely where I'm going to catch some big ones. So he starts heading towards it to check it out, and the river was so quiet that it was actually starting to become creepy. Like everything around him went dead still.
That means there's a predator around.
Hmm. But he's still thinking about how good it is to be on the river and not have to worry about anything, and that he was just really just enjoying his time in the present moment.
I'm gonna be real with you though, if I'm out in the middle of the river, I'm not that worried about a land-based predator.
Well, you should be.
Well, no, we know he should be.
But yeah, everything goes dead still, and he's just like, this is the life. Like, are your like survival instincts not being like, everything went dead quiet?
Okay,
All
resume.
right. So as he gets near the rock, he wants to cast out, and he notices up ahead that the river takes a right hand turn out of sight, and it looks like it's widening out again. So as he casts towards the rock, he instantly catches another bass. As he is fighting it back, this is when everything turns to shit. That is his words, not mine.
Right.
Something on the right hand side bank, up where the river turns, starts smashing the trees. He freezes and was like, "What the fuck is that?" All he can hear is smashing, and it's like everything. Then that is when he heard it start running towards him through the bush. The cockatoos in the area begin going crazy, which makes him start to panic. He compares the sound of it crashing and smashing things through the bush to that of a bulldozer. Kitty cat.
Yeah.
So
You
at
can keep
this
going if you want.
point, he hears a lot of noise, and it sounds like a bulldozer. I'm sorry, is he wearing a parka?
No, he's wearing a trapper hat.
Okay. I was like,
Daryl, she's
so,
hang on, she's having asthma.
me or the cat?
The cat.
Okay. Are you good?
Yeah, my cat's just asthmatic. You can keep going.
Okay. As it was coming towards him, he knew it was huge and it was sprinting, and he could tell it was running on 2 feet. He thought he was done for sure. He was at the part of the river that was narrow, and he was certain that it could clear the bank with a jump and could easily land in his kayak. The creature stopped just out of sight, and then it let loose a blood curdling roar that shook his chest, part lion and part grizzly and hail. The sound was so huge that he thought for sure he was done. The cockatoos are still screaming ahead as he thinks as the thing smashes through the bush, roaring again and again, while he fumbled to land the fish. He unhooks the fish, takes the bait out, and releases. Every instinct in his body is screaming, "Leave now or you'll die." He paddled and ran and hauled his gear up to the vehicle, then realized his GoPro had recorded the entire encounter. So this channel actually does a lot of dogman hunting along with some other things from Australia, which is pretty cool. So you should check them out. I will say that they do have several videos of them like actually out in the bush looking for dogman.
Hmm.
It's really interesting. I don't necessarily believe this to be a dogman story per se,
Mm-hmm.
but I can see why he would think it is.
What do you think it is?
I don't know because I don't know exactly what animals are there, but I also know again, like you even said, every animal there wants to kill you in some way. So,
For those who are not watching, there's a cat in here now, and I'm trying to make sure she doesn't get into anything.
but
For those of you who are watching, that's my cat Lucy.
she's doing her best.
She's settling down in the chair I was talking about. I have like a blanket on it, and she's making biscuits.
Aw. So, do you think that was Dogman?
I don't know. I don't know enough about Australia.
I don't
Um,
either.
I'd have to watch the video. Did he post the GoPro video?
I believe that there is, and there are. I don't know if I have the pictures anymore. I should. They have a lot of videos where they show pictures of things where they think you can see Dogman in them when there's been like a lot of commotion and stuff like that.
Right.
So it's definitely worth checking this channel out. And I'll try to editing Sage. Write in your notebook that you're going to put the link to these videos in the description so they can watch them. That's your job.
Yeah.
All right.
Lucy, you don't want to be on camera?
So this next story comes from a Reddit user who people in the comments believe that he was being stalked by a dog man. He does not necessarily think it. He was asking for advice on what they think it could have been. And everyone in the comments was like, this is definitely dogman-esque.
Is it in the Dogman subreddit?
I don't know. I don't have a Reddit account. I just typed in Australian dogman and this came up as.
Oh, okay.
So here is his story. It was New Year's, the last one that came. Me and my friends ventured into a park around 1 a.m. as there were cops on the roads and we didn't want to get done for drinking or smoking. We had pretty far in and hide behind a big fallen tree setting up our picnic rug. We hung there for a while until everything gets really silent, like dead silent. There were still people further up the road at the lookout we came from, but we couldn't hear them anymore. This was There was just no noise. My friends point out that he could hear a sort of whistling in the trees, almost a human sort. When I listen in, I could hear it too. It almost sounds like a human whistling to another human, a few whistles first, then a response. Not musical whistles either. It almost seemed more like a communication. At this point we decided to leave, all of us getting weird vibes. I should mention that there were about 5 of us this night. We decided to cut further into the park to get back to the main road at the bottom. It's not a big park, at most maybe 2 kilometers in length, so we know we can reach the road in no time, especially as we are near the bottom. But as we go further down, it becomes apparent that we are lost. We try to follow the path, but it's not maintained. Lots and lots of tall grass making everything confusing. We try a few offshoots of the path, but not one of them leads to the tourist road as they all are overgrown. We see a bus stop down the hill, but decide to keep trekking as we can see it's down a nasty embankment. We are catching our breath and staring off again when me and my friend, we'll call him Baz, hear a blood-curdling scream from the trees ahead. It sounds almost like a woman or a little girl screaming at full pelt, but had a strange sound of it, almost like recorded quality. Almost like if you heard it through a speaker or from a really far away. Strangely, it sounded close though. Everyone freezes and looks at me, and I just say it's a possum. I have lived in this particular area of the hills for my whole life, essentially, and have done many night walks. Not once have I ever heard a possum or an owl make that noise. We continue looking for a way out with no luck, an increasing feeling of dread and fear creeping into our minds. The darkness is thick, like thicker than it should be. The moon was almost full and there was a lot of light that night, but the park seemed extremely dark despite it actually being very open. At-
Sage!
I'm watching you fight for your life.
She got down, thank God.
I know I'm trying not to laugh while reading, as I'm just watching because you're like right above where the tablet is. At this point, we are all on our wits' end. We follow a path and we can see that the road now, but in our path is the largest holy bush I've ever seen, just rife with spikes. We get back yet again to where we started, and my partner gives me his walking stick for getting through the brush. I immediately flip it around and use it like a bat. We wander a few more steps, and like a miracle, a car drives past, illuminating the bus stop, clearly less than 10 meters from us. We practically run out of the bush, scrambling down the embankment and speed walking home. It's worth mentioning I have researched Australian nocturnal animals, particularly those in the Dandenong ranges, and I'm yet to find anything that sounded even close to what we heard. To this day, I'm not entirely sure what was in the bushes. It didn't help that my friend made a flesh pedestrian joke when we first heard the whistling either. Anyway, thank you for reading it. Any ideas, supernatural or otherwise, on what was out there, that would be awesome. Now, the community that was commenting on this were like, this is definitely Dogman.
Um,
And
I
that's
don't
what the
know.
comments were saying. Now, the fact that he's saying that he has researched almost all of the animals in that region looking for the sounds that it was making, I
Mhm.
respect that.
Yeah, and you know what? Given that he's eliminated all the natural animals that would be out there, I think this was a person.
I could see it being a person.
The whistling isn't typically associated with Dogman.
I feel like sometimes
Um,
whistling is associated with Bigfoot.
yeah, it is sometimes associated with Bigfoot. You know who else whistles? People.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of feel like they were either maybe Bigfoot. I'm glad you pointed that out because I wouldn't have thought of that. But my first instinct was you're being stalked by a person.
Yeah, and also it's New Year's Day. You're underage drinking. in a park.
Literally.
I'm going to tell
Literally.
you, I'm an adult, and if I saw a bunch of kids who are illegally drinking, I may
Even
not
if you're
follow through
bothering
with
them.
it, but I would probably try to scare them, especially if they're out in the
I've
fucking woods.
Right, I would at least think about it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I would
I mean,
follow through.
they don't even have to be drinking or doing anything bad. Just I see a big posse of teenagers and they don't know I'm there and we're in the woods. I'm going to at least think about it.
Yeah.
Cuz that's funny.
And like especially if there's a group of people that were on the trails cuz it's a public park. So,
Right.
and you said that there were people in the park that you could no longer hear.
Right.
It wouldn't be that
Somebody
hard for
followed you out.
yeah. And they're just trying to fuck with you it seems more like.
Yeah.
So what do you think about all these stories?
I'm sure there probably is a dogman in Australia. I mean, it has everything else under the sun that can kill you, so there probably is one. Um, I don't think that last guy was being pursued by dogman. I don't know about the second one. I'd have to see the GoPro video. Um,
I'm going to see if I can find it and I'll send you a screenshot of where they believe that Dogman is looking at them.
yeah,
But
we'll
I
see.
don't think I okay, so as someone who I love the Dogman theories, I wouldn't say that like I believe so I'll say this. I believe that Dogman exists. I think that every cryptid in some form exists in some way or another.
Right.
However, not everything can be placed as a cryptid. There are just some weird things and coincidences that happen that are not inherently cryptid.
Right.
And so, in some of these pictures that they have posted, because I watched a lot of their videos one night, it'll be like, oh, look, there's Dogman's face, but there's no evidence of a body. It's just, it looks like a face.
That can be pareidolia very easily.
Mm-hmm. And there's
For
like,
those of you that don't know, pareidolia is when you see something that kind of looks like something else, so your mind fills in the blanks.
mm-hmm. And so I don't, I don't know. But I don't believe that they're catching pictures of Dogman like they think that they are. Now, could their entire channel be just like a grab at people who like this stuff? 100%.
Hmm.
That's never a doubt in my mind, especially with like with just how YouTube is in general and the world of like spooky things. You want to grab your people's attention.
Right.
Like that's kind of why we're called the Squeaky Floorboard Society. It's a little bit of a weird name. If I saw this name out in the wild, I'd be like, "Well, I want to know what that is." And I would look into it.
We can promise you, though, if we ever are somewhere, we're not going to do attention grabbers. You get what you get.
Yeah.
If we're at Land Between the Lakes and Dogman pops up, that's because Dogman's there. It's not because we, you know?
Yeah. Or if we're like at a really haunted location. We're not gonna
I think that if you're going to be an actual believer in something, you don't need to fake it.
no.
If you actually believe in something, the integrity of your belief should translate into integrity in the way that you present it.
Yeah.
Like next season, I have a couple of cases. Like I have at least one case, maybe two, where there's an explanation for stuff that happened, possibly. And it sucks because it's like a super cool, exciting story. But at the end of the day, you know,
There's
you
more
have to
logical.
you have to present things with integrity and let people make their own decisions.
I've got a couple. I've got a case that's definitely like that. That even brings in Ed and Lorraine into it.
I don't know how I feel about them.
I for this case specifically that I'm thinking of that they get brought into, I don't. I don't believe them
Mm.
for this case.
Yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes they present really compelling evidence, and I'm like, oh, maybe they're not frauds. And then sometimes I'm like, you just made that up. But that's,
When we
but
get
yeah,
to that
I
case,
that's
you'll see what I mean.
and that's why shows like Ghost Adventures piss me off so much. Like the early seasons of Ghost Adventures, I do think that they actually genuinely believed what they were doing, and now it's just a cash grab.
Yeah.
which makes me sad because like that's one of the most well-known paranormal shows in the world, and this is what
I
you're doing
love
with your thing.
Aaron so much.
That stuff with his wife is
I
crazy.
know. I remember being like 8 years old, being like, I would marry that man. And my mom's like, you are a child.
I'm proud to say I never had a crush on anybody in Ghost Adventures. Even as a small child, I knew Zach Bagans was to be hated.
I
I've
I
been a hater since I
still
was a kid.
I still love Aaron so much.
No, I
Aaron,
think he's probably
reach out.
everybody that I've seen talk about and experience meeting Aaron Goodwin has had like nice things to say. I don't hear that about Zach Bagans.
Aaron just seems like someone who is such go with the flow and is just like he just seems like he's a whole vibe. And I feel like he'd be someone that'd be really
Yeah.
fun to just have genuine conversations with.
And also our deepest sympathies to him going through a tough time right now. You know his
Hmm.
wife tried to kill him, right?
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. He seems like a nice guy. Doesn't deserve that. I mean, nobody deserves that, I guess. Well,
Some of the cases we've talked about.
you know, what's his name? Nicholas Flamont?
Demont.
Demott? I'm thinking of Nicholas Flamel.
But
But yeah, Dumont, he deserved it. But,
yeah.
Aaron Goodwin, no, definitely didn't deserve
No.
that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about channels on YouTube in general that make their. I know I'm also kind of talking about us here, but we're not quite in the same vein. Like ghost hunting channels, paranormal channels that do investigations. I don't know how I feel about that because it seems like there's a really high incidence of them catching stuff every single time that they go somewhere, and that's just not realistic.
There's only one channel that I would believe any of their ghost hunting stuff, and that
There's
is
one channel that I
Watcher.
would believe. Yeah, if Shane and Ryan caught something, I'd buy it. But I'm specifically thinking of this very particular Saudi Arabian ghost hunter who kicks indoors, and he does all of his stuff via live stream. I don't know why, but I trust him.
I I feel like I could trust the Watchers because one is such a heavy believer and the other one's a skeptic, and if they catch something that's a little bit maybe possibly can like compelling evidence, Shane can normally be like here's how I know if it's good evidence or not. If Shane cannot disprove it in actuality or somewhat recreate the said thing,
Maybe quit doing that with the chair.
I will believe that
Right.
because Shane looks for the possibility of it being something else. And I
Right.
love
Yeah.
that.
There's just so many, and I feel like it discredits the. You can see Lucy walking around the back.
Yeah.
Um, I just feel like it discredits all of us who actually put actual research and stuff into stuff.
Yeah.
That's the other thing about Zach Bagans that pisses me off. He just talks out of his ass on his show. You're not a demonologist, bro.
I I like to watch it for Aaron specifically.
I know I like to watch the show, but the whole time it's just me going, let me grab my mug for effect. It's just me going, I hope a ghost kills him.
Do you
I don't
remember
know
the
how to
house where Zach had the I think it was the Lizzie Borden house actually. I'm pretty sure. Where he lays in the doorway with the axe like leaning in the doorway and is like begging for them to like drop the axe on his throat.
You know what? I'm going to say one good thing to Zach Bagans' credibility. I truly believe, and I'm also about to really, really talk about something that I hate about him. I believe with 100% sincerity that the Ammons house in Gary, Indiana, that he bought and filmed Demon House in, I 100% believe that he found what he's been looking for all these years in that house. Um, because I've researched that case really deeply. I have gotten to the point where I've found original documents about it because of my little
Wow.
niche interest. And a lot of it's redacted, right? Because it's personal information.
Yeah.
But
Much like the Epstein
I think
files.
he found, I think, this is not like the
Sorry.
Epstein files at all.
The amount of redacted information.
But I think that he found what he was looking for. And then for some reason, he demolished the fucking house and unleashed it upon the rest of Gary as if it wasn't bad enough up there.
Literally.
Because I literally saw a TikTok from a guy the other day that's like, the energy in Gary is different because they live in Gary. And he's like a night security guard at a community college that doesn't have like any student housing
Ooh.
because it's a community college. And
Yeah.
he's like, the air's been different here the past few years. And someone was like, yeah, because Zach Bagans demolished the demon house. Which, because he said he didn't want anyone to investigate it. Like, one, if you genuinely found something evil in there, you need to let other people investigate that shit.
Yeah.
And two, if you demolish the house, where's it gonna go?
Literally. It's why, like, if you
It's either gonna
contact
stay.
something.
It's either gonna stay on that lot and just be unconfined to the house and be on the whole lot now, or B, it's just out and about in Gary now.
Yeah.
That was stupid and it was selfish. And I know some people are like, oh, he didn't want anybody to like see how much stuff he faked. No, I don't think he faked that. I actually do think that his eye problems that he has now forever are from that house. I believe that 100%.
Yeah.
He's a dick for demolishing it.
Again, I only watch Ghost Adventures for Aaron. I have since I was a kid. I used to tell my mom that I wanted to marry that man. I love him. I love him.
Do you know who I told my mom I wanted to marry every time it was on TV?
Who?
The guy who played Dracula in Van Helsing. I've always had a thing for just like long-haired men who look like they want to hurt people.
I have a thing for older men.
I mean, yeah. Mine's older than me. Not as much of a gap.
As me and mine.
Yeah. Not nearly.
No. Considering that allegedly it's about 12 years.
Do you believe in Australian dogman?
I would not be surprised if every cryptid that we say is in America is in Australia. I would not be surprised.
All of them at once.
All of them at the exact same time.
I do have a quick question about the first story from the Aboriginal tribe, though. They said they rarely make contact with witches and wizards. Is that like a concern for them?
It
Witches
could
and
be.
wizards living in the sand dunes?
It could be. I don't. So again, this is Aboriginal stories, so they
Right.
are harder to. But from the most part, it sounds like the Irrigens just want to be like left alone.
Except when they want to eat people.
Well, yeah, but like
Right.
it just seems like for the most part, they're just like, I'm gonna be
Chill.
over here doing my thing, you be over there doing your thing, and we will not see each other.
Right.
But again, Aboriginal stories, much like Native American stories, those are for the community. So a lot of like the stories that I grew up hearing are stories that are within the tribe or within some form of indigenous beliefs. And they're not stuff that you can technically go on the internet and find.
Right.
So, but you guys tell us what you think. Do you think Dogman's in Australia? Do you have a Dogman Australia story?
Are you Australian?
Yeah.
Don't we have a listener in Australia?
We have two. One in the Capital Territory and one in New South Wales.
Okay, if you're one of those two, let us know. If you hate Zach Bagans, let me know.
If you've met Aaron, send us your story in. Or yeah, Zach too. I really love Aaron.
And I really hate Zach. It's like a personal vendetta. Like I know he doesn't know me, and I don't know him. This is the most parasocial beef of all time.
Only one of you is aware that the beef exists.
I tell you what, he would only have to be in my general proximity once to know the beef existed. He would sense my aura of hatred. It'd be a whose spiritual pressure am I feeling moment for him.
I think that if I ever saw Aaron in person, like if like he was shopping, I don't think I'd even interact with him. I think I'd just be like staring at him.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't know that I would interact with Zach Bagans if I could be at my job and see him come in. I'm losing my job that day. We're fighting.
You're almost done with your degree, so it'd be fine.
Right. It's fine. Yeah, next semester is my last semester, so.
What
are you looking at?
I'm almost done with my associates, y'all. Guys, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine.
We're getting our big girl degrees. But, alright, this is our last episode, except for the recap.
And I'm coming to the recap with questions, like not like personal questions, but like I think you said you were going to come to the last episode with like maybe some other stories that just didn't
I
deserve
have
their own
notes.
episodes and notes and stuff like that.
I have notes. I have an audio clip I need to clip.
I have questions and like about our growth and stuff like that. So you guys are going to kind of get a good mix, I think it sounds like.
And you're gonna get it with us in person, with each
Yeah.
other for once, instead of
So
via Discord.
you guys will get to see us be in person together. Watch me
And
wear
I mean,
another Christmas sweater.
I don't have another sweater. I only have Sasuke.
But yeah, so guys, next week we'll be in person.
Yep.
It will be Christmas time for us. It'll be like summertime for y'all.
Yeah.
So
I mean, hopefully I won't sound like this. Hopefully I won't sound like I've done nothing but chain smoke Marlboros outside of a Circle K for the past 15 years.
But yeah, so guys, reach out to the email if you have any personal stories or funny stories that you would like to hear on the podcast. We definitely are hoping that we can get some in so that we can start having just like a little segment to break up seasons. And thank you. I'm gonna pull the statistics right before we go into our next episode. So like the second, like 20 minutes before we actually record, I'm going to pull our statistics, and so we can talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, thank you guys for those of you who have listened to all of season 1.
Or even most of season 1.
Or even like some of even one episode. Like if you listen to one episode and this is the only one you've listened to, we really appreciate that. We don't have, I don't think we have unrealistic goals for this podcast. We're not expecting to be paying all of our bills via the podcast ever.
No.
Um,
I think even if we were at that point, I think we'd still go with the careers that we're building for ourselves.
Possibly. We'd still, hey, but if we ever decided we didn't want to do it anymore, we have the degrees to go do something else.
Literally.
But it's encouraging to see more and more people tuning in.
Yes, thank you guys so much. I wrote an entire sappy paragraph for the next episode, so I will probably cry during that. So you guys will get to enjoy.
Sage is a crier, though.
I am. That is why I have teardrops tatted on my finger. If you guys didn't know that.
Just so you can go.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see you guys next week for our in-person episode.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye.